Hello. So I'm gonna do a video about, well, I'll start with free will because that was one of the things that was mentioned in my last one. But sorry, I just walked straight into a spider web. Anyways, sorry, that was funny. Okay, anyways, whoa, it's slippery too. Free will. So the other thing that was added to that was self-reflections or life reflections, or one of the two. Anyways, so free will is an interesting topic because there's a few different things about this. Like there's debates about free will versus determinism, and then there's other ways of looking at it, like, well, what is free will, and then also, like, what does free will mean, what does it do for you, and what's the point of it? So my viewpoint on it is that free will is active and it's something that is real, but there's also this kind of underlying, like, it's so hard to look at it like this because my viewpoint on it is both free will and determinism in a way. So it's almost like you do have free will, but you have a pretty solid outline of what it is that you're going to be doing before you come here. So it's not like you come here and then you just, like, your entire life is just laid out second by second. But at the same time, it kind of is like that in a way, but it's like, instead of it being laid out as one singular timeline, it's laid out more something along the lines of like infinite timelines that are all kind of like branching from each other. So it's all dependent on what happens in the moment of like your choice. So all the timelines that could happen are there, and they're like, I'm sorry, but these shoes are slipping around. Anyways, all the times that are there, or I mean, all the times are there, but they are kind of like not in limbo per se, but they're not manifested. They're part of the unmanifested, or the void, or they're part of the potential energy, right? So like they all, and that's another thing that I'm getting right now, is that all of the potential energies of this reality seems to make up what the active energy is of it, and then your choice really kind of directs the flow of that energy in some sort of way. And so free will seems to be in a way where in the moment you can make a decision based on free will, but at the same time that decision that you make is based off of all the other decisions that you made in the same lifetime, therefore kind of making it to where it's not really like your free will anyways, unless you make a drastic change to your consciousness in a short span of time. Then basically the way for your actions to actually really be reflective of a true free will would be for you to be completely aware of all of your actions that you're doing in the moment of you doing it, and to choose all of the ones that you do. So there's like an automatic kind of flow, but there's also a level of choice that is layered into that. So there's more things also with this, because like he said, life, or like basically like different thoughts about my life, I guess. But so when it comes to free will, what I've realized with my own life is that a lot of the things that I thought I had chosen for myself, actually I didn't really choose particularly. I more kind of followed a particular pattern of actions, which led me to having the mindset that I had at that time. But then there's so many different ways that you can look at this, like, because there's like the level, like there's like a first level where yes, you can say that you do have free will because you can choose whatever you want to do. But then there's another level where you can look at it as a soul, and then you can look at that from an oversoul, and then you can look at that from a full like God consciousness perspective, and they all have different kind of viewpoints on the same thing, so they all look completely different. So to God, free will wouldn't look like free will to us, because it would be unfathomably like large. So its free will would just be literally existence. That would be what free will is. Would be just like existence literally is here because free will became, in a way. But if you look at it from like the point of view of, say, a soul, then it's still more than being as a human, because humans believe that they have full control of their lifetimes. But as a soul, you would see that you then plan out a lot of these human lifetimes, and then you experience those through the viewpoint as being human. So in that, you wouldn't particularly have 100% free will, because you plan out everything that's going to happen in beforehand. But at the same time, you do have free will because you planned that. So you freely chose to have those experiences. You see, so it's really weird how it is. And I'm not really sure how you really wanted me to like kind of go about this. And I can make a lot more stuff about this, but this is more kind of just such a broad topic that it's not really something that's really easy to just make a singular video that just would get everything about it. So there's so much more to this too. Like when it comes down to free will versus determinism, there's arguments for both sides. When it comes down to literally just the way that you see reality, right? Like a lot of people, they are able to release a lot of stress in their life by releasing the feeling that they need to control everything in their life. So with that release of stress, they then believe that that's the only way that you can release that stress. Therefore, they become very stuck on one singular point of view. But at the same time, I do believe that there is an absolute reality or an absolute truth that we can come across or come upon via experience, and that transcends any sort of free will or determinism kind of argument, because it's something that is it's directly experienced by you in the moment, rather than being something that you're thinking about. Because free will is more than just a concept. It's not something that's just a concept. It's something that is a base kind of form of what this reality is and what we are doing here. We're here to learn about ourselves, but we're also here to please God in a way. So and by God, I don't mean what a lot of people think by God. So what I mean is your higher self, or your eternal full consciousness aspects of everything. So basically it's like you're merging with everything around you and becoming the thing that reality is. That's what I would be calling serving God in a way. So through that, everything that you do is only under a surveillance of a higher self. Therefore, that higher self would always have to make sure that everything is good. So it would be the higher self's free will, but it would not be the human's free will. So as humans, I don't really think that we have as much free will as we think we do, but I do believe that we do have a level of free will. And basically, I think the closer that we come to God consciousness, the closer that we'll come to a true free will. And I think that the closer that we kind of like move towards unity, the more that we'll start to see that free will is more of a kind of full-on, it's like a full-on, what I mean by full-on, I mean like it's literally an integral part of reality. So without that, we would not have the reality that we have right now. So that kind of, I don't know, it's a very, very interesting topic because it goes in so many different directions. And this was just off the top of my head really quick, so don't just assume that this is all that I know about this, because I can go very deep into this, but this is more of just me trying to get myself to start doing something after I've done like physical labor all day. And here it is. So there you go. I'll do another one in just a second, I guess, and just kind of go a little bit deeper into stuff too. And also I have a couple of topics that I was thinking about for myself too. So sometimes you forget to breathe, you forget how good it feels. I hope everybody remembers to breathe, and I hope everybody has a good day. So have a good day.